Hey everybody, Brent's Carrot. I'm going to bring you the WGLNA Season 3 Week 1 overview. I have taken every single match from Week 1, Day 1, 2, 3, and 4, brought it into a spreadsheet. I am talking the teams, the lineups with the equipment, the exact outcome, the opening strategies, every single thing I could. Threw it into a spreadsheet, analyzed it, and now I'm bringing you the final results with video to go. So let's get right into it with our first map, Himmelsdorf. This is a picture of it. It's a quite interesting city map with multiple lanes. You have your 8-line banana, you have your hill. The most popular strategy I saw was this 8-line push right here. Tanks would line up, wait for that trigger, and then push. The hill wasn't very used. One or two tanks maybe sat on it, but it wasn't the focus of the fight. It was always a fight somewhere in here or somewhere in here. There was never a fight more or less centered somewhere else but around there. Simp actually was the only team in week 1 to take tanks out into this area and actually win the battle, starting the engagement from there and actually starting with their opening strategy from there. People tried to move over there and they just got wrecked from that 8-line push. Simp was the only team to actually stop a push and finish the battle. The most popular lineup that I have seen would be two 5100s and three IS3s, with a mirror image of three 5100s and two IS3s following it. However, this was the most popular one, and these are just pictures of the tanks that I brought for visual aid. We saw 13 matches total on Himmelsdorf. 8 of these matches were actually seen with this lineup playing. They won 5 times, and they lost 3. They did lose one by capping, so I would more or less count that as 2 official tier 8 losses and 1 match loss. When I say tier 8 loss, I mean every single tier 8 on that team was killed before the match ended. If you win by capping, I really don't count it because it's all about that tier 8 engagement and not just how you win the battle, but what tier 8 lineups are stronger against others. Some of the most popular equipment for this lineup would be for the 5100. You're running vents, your gun laying drive, your vertical stabilizer, or your coated optics. I would go with the top 3. The map's not that big, it's very laney, there's really no need for that optics. But I guess if you're going hill and you'd like that extra range, I can see it happening. For the IS3, you clearly have the top 5 actually, uh, things. You have a choice of 3, but there is 5 up there. The wet ammo rack, your gun rammer, your vents, your gun laying drive, and your vertical stabilizer. My top 3 would be the rack, the drive, and the stabilizer. I've even seen teams run a liner, a spall liner, but I don't recommend it because all it really would give you is ram damage. I do not believe heat is affected by it, so like if a team brought a T69, that spall liner would do nothing. It's really for, I guess, hilarious ram damage because you take like nothing and they take more. But I just don't recommend it. If you're low enough to be rammed, you're dead anyways. Um, some extra notes about Himmelsdorf is a single team brought a Rumba. It worked for them, but it was incredibly risky, and it did not play out in a tier 8 win victory. It played out in a cap win. I don't understand the thought process of bringing a TD on such a closed-in map. It's gonna get spotted. It's gonna get caught out in a lane. It's gonna get fucked. Just really, that's just a big explanation of it. Another thing was actually teams brought this one of the machine, the Chinese heavy tank 1110. One of them. Um, it won multiple times. I believe it had like 2 wins under its belt, and it was only seen 3 or 4 times. It was a 50-60% win rate, I believe. But only one of them. When teams bring 2, every time they brought 2, it ended in a loss for them. Whether it be a cap out, whether it be just all of your T8s being destroyed. It seems 1 is the limit in week 1. Now, I'd like to end the Himmelsdorf portion of this with a video of Fulcrum and Spurglords. Fulcrum was using the most popular lineup. Spurglords mixed it up, brought a T69, but this is a video just overlaying what I've been telling you now.
On the other side, we will have two 5100s and 3 IS3s for Fulcrum Gaming.
And in the red, it is going to be RJ leading the Sprig Lords. And the blue to the north will be Fulcrum Gaming.
And at the beginning, I'm looking at some east side movement. Antonio Handsome in his 5100 is moving on the way towards the hill. We've got the IS3s at the same time are heading towards the middle of the map. We might see that football lineup out of Fulcrum Gaming.
And I'm looking at the roster they have. Friction in a T1, yes, standard. Junior in a T1, intriguing. Junior is one of the latest additions. And Antonio Handsome, also a team member that I do not know a whole lot about compared to the rest of the team members that have been on it for a while. Jackie Rudo, still strong member of the team, could not represent Fulcrum at WCG because he was Canadian and the American teams. But Junior is going to be all the way to the west side, going down the one-line spotting. And this is going to be a heavy targeted defensive play coming out of Sprig Lords. They have all their 5100s and IS3s all the way to the west, covering J. 2, 3, and 3 is covering them. Wallhacks in the IS3 at 938 at a 1500. He is in some troubles. He takes another hit and falls back closer to Candyman, avoiding that fire as some of those shells bounce in the ruins. Candyman in that IS3 still trying to scout someone coming down the Gulf line, that G line, but this is going to come down to Lestat as he's going to move in his 5100 to try to stop the flag cap.
But Relics will be waiting for him, and he does spot him. Lestat takes a hit, beautiful track shot, and he's forced to burn his kit in order to engage on Friction in the T1 Cunningham. Friction tries to reverse angle himself in there, make himself as hard a target as possible, but Lestat zeroes and takes a little damage for it, and has to waste a shot. That is quite a damage trade. Relics down to 1166, Lestat down to 606. Advantage here, huge advantage for Fulcrum Gaming.
And now the push coming across the courtyard will be one of the Fulcrum Gaming tanks as the rest of Sprig Lords move to the south. Wallhacks in that IS3 down to 640. Lestat at 606. HP is going to be in the favor of
Jackie
Fulcrum
Rudo
Gaming.
walks into a crossfire. He's going to take 2 hits right in the side of his tank, but he will return fire on one of them bounces on Jackie. That was a huge just situation where they could have come back, but they've blown it. Jackie is able to get out alive and healthy.
I'm going to watch the rear of the push here, and that's going to be Fulcrum Gaming's Tier 8 moving in. And he's going to get some great fire on Lestat, Wallhacks, and Chronic Pain. He's not even scouted yet, but now he appears. His name's Relics. He sees one in that T-69. He fires, gets a nice hit. Soviet takes down Candyman. And now tanks at 600 HP and almost less are left alive here for Sprig Lords, and they're going to get cleaned up by Fulcrum as 5 of their heavy tanks are left alive here, and only 2 remain for Sprig Lords in battle number 1 of the WGL Gold.
We are on to Prokhorovka, or Prokhorovka. I don't know how to pronounce it. However, another beautiful picture of it. You have the red circle at K6 is the southern spawn base. A4, part of A5, is the northern spawn base. You usually see engagements happening around this F2 area, F6 area. I don't really see most Eastern plays. They're just not as popular. Sometimes you have 1390s there. Sometimes you have quick-moving tanks there. But most of the heavies that are on this map stay in the fingers, in the bowl, where most battles happen. Surprisingly, we saw 10 matches, and the Pershing and AMX 1390 showed up 9 out of 10 times. The problem with this is that no lineup was actually featured more than once. They were always different. But there was a Pershing or a single 1390 in at least 9 of the matches. So I believe that there is no perfect lineup for this map. It always varies on what your preferences are, what your strengths are, what the other team brings. And these 2 tanks are very crucial to being successful on this map. Some of the popular equipment for the Pershing would be the rammer, the gun laying drive, and the vertical stabilizer. Sometimes you drop the rammer for optics. It depends. 1390, straight gun laying drive, vents, coated optics. The only 3 things that are worth it that you can fit on this tank. Some extra notes about Prokhorovka is the T-32 in 69 also did make a lot of appearances, but not as much as the Pershing in 1390. These 2 wonderful tanks. It seems American lineups are very popular. You see a lot of American tanks here. We did see an STA-1 a few times. I know Refuse to Die brought it against Top Tier. Top Tier brought 332s, pushed over the rails. Very interesting play. But it is American and French heavy. Sometimes you see the Object 416. I saw it once or twice. I think I saw a Rumba, an R8 Gem, maybe once. I don't. I would have to look back. But talking with that T32 and three of the T32 play over the rails, I will show you that video right after this.
The T1 on top of the ST, I think it could.
What's yeah? That looks like a. Is that like close to a 50 cal?
That's close.
No, that looks a little smaller. That's not. I don't know what the unnamed mounted on those.
No, you know what? No.
I don't know.
Tankspedia.
They would know.
Check it out.
Go check it out.
Well, let's go ahead and check out what the rest of his team is doing. Fosta Kid is going to be staying back to the south in the T1. Look at this engagement on the railroad tracks. Both tankers staying really close. And this has, Top Tier has moved a lot of that ground to cover that some tankers struggle with, has moved up right up to those railroad tracks and those T-32s.
Yeah. Backstas has been spotting some guys in the north, but T-32s look like, are they going to cross? Yeah, Vallejo and Sublime Banana have crossed the tracks. They're going to the east. They're leaving behind E63M6 and Agamemnon along with Coolhammer. They've begun the engagement, and now Sublime Banana has taken a few hits. Vallejo taking hits on the side. This is a huge mistake, I feel like, out of Top Tier.
Well, the engagement, though, next to the buildings where they're at, those buildings will crumble with each shot, but Vallecio's just going to go for it. These T-32s jumping up in front of Sublime Banana, man. They're pushing out against them, and they do have a lot of HP to cover that ground. But, oh, that shot from Sublime Banana looks like that one did hit, and Vallejo gets the first Tier 8 kill. Yeah, however, it's taking a lot of damage, but Sublime Banana is going to cruise across that little roadway and try to help out Vallejo.
And they peek out. Anubis takes 3 hits, and he's down to 396. Colonel Angus should be peeking out in just a moment, but you've got 3 T-32s. One of them's taken no hits. Sublime Banana still at 100 hit points. Where are a bag of kittens and Valkyrie Vewas? I felt like they should have torn apart these T-32s, but this fight's going a completely different direction. Top Tier just bullying their opponents with more hit points.
I love it. T-32s pushing across the way into the village, and now they're going to turn north. T1 still able to spot a bag of kittens and Hired Gun falling to Backstaz. And now Coolhammer, pushing up in the 1390. Bag of kittens trying to fall back into the water. And he tries to get a shot on Coolhammer.
Steps. The flattest and most interesting map, in my opinion, of WGLNA. You have all of this green part in the middle and brown just completely wide open with only a few rocks and bushes there. You have that middle valley, which is quite interesting for flanking, and then the two sides, which we've seen more movement with this G9 area because of that second hill they added back here. You can see it here, that little itty-bitty outcrop. It is very, very interesting, the east side at least of this map now that they've added it. So the most popular lineup we saw 4 out of 8 times with 3 wins, 1 win by a cap, and 1 loss. Only 8 matches were actually seen in week 1 on steps, and the most popular lineup by far had to have been 2 Pershings and 3 1390s. Some of the most popular equipment that I saw was for the Pershing, you have the optics, clearly because of how open and long this map is. Vertical stabilizer, gun laying drive, gun rammer, and vents. My picks would probably be optics, stabilizer, and the drive, because you want to be able to see long, you want to be able to get those long accurate shots off, and having that decreased aim time, that increased accuracy while on the move, and the increased view range will just help you more often than not. Excuse me. For the 1390, you would have obviously the popular 3 gun laying drive, optics, vents, the only 3 things that are actually useful. Some extra notes about steps is the hull down capacity and the ability of the Pershing V1390 combo. It seems really, really, really good. You have the Pershings that can sit back on those large hills on each sides of the flanks and just use that turret. You have the 1390's mobility, gets in between those hills, gets around those hills quite easily, and is able to go dark somewhere else on the map and I don't want to say rework, but remove certain aspects of the game there. And I believe this map has a lot of potential for growth. I saw a few T69s that didn't do so well. In my experience in the Silver League, my team runs 5100s. It's a very interesting map due to the fact of how interesting it's played out. Now there's a video of, I believe it's Fulcrum in Spurglords again with this map, and it shows the very good capability of that 1390 in Pershing movement. And I will join you.
Advantage. They get a jump to get over there. There's a little bit of a window to spot that out, that crossing, and maybe put out some free damage. But without a lot of tanks that are consistent fire, you're not going to have anyone loaded for this. And actually, it looks like Spurglords are going to head to the east as well.
Whoa, this may get a little bit crazy here. These guys are really close. Chronic Pain is now going to be matched up with Soviet. Soviet moving to the south. He's going to take some fire, but they fall right into the Pershing and the T69 waiting for him. Soviet with the bait had the turrets locked on him, and the Pershing and the T69 had some free shots in a Chronic Pain. However, Hugo Maximus takes a shot in his T69, and now Spurglords are a little bit spread out. Antonio Handsome is able to get that first blood in that 1390.
What a beautiful crossfire. I forgot about the changes to the map, and Fulcrum Gaming is so prepared. Look at this positioning. They are tearing apart the Spurglords.
And now Fulcrum has taken out 3 of the tier 8s. Only a 1390 and a Pershing remain. They can do damage against Fulcrum Gaming. Lestat in that 1390 is going to get completely surrounded.
A ram for 208 damage.
Brutal. Last shot from that Pershing from Relics. He'll get the kill. Kabam. And now, Hugo trying to get up to wall hacks for the last kill necessary.
Alrighty, now we're moved on to Ruinberg, the half-city map, with Clutch's favorite TIE fighter, the Delta Village, all in the north, and the south has a small little village, but we do not see a lot of tanks hanging out there. It's more of we've lost the Delta Village, let's pull back a little bit, but not far enough. You see a lot of cap offense and defense from this map. In week 1, the best lineup we saw was 2 5100s, 2 IS-3s, and a 1390. There were 4 matches total on Ruinberg. 3 of them were actually played with this lineup. 2 of them were cap wins. 1 of them they actually killed every single tier 8. This lineup saw 3 out of 4 matches. The final match, a 1390 was dropped for a 3rd IS-3, and it actually ended in a draw. Some of the popular equipment for the 5100 would be the vertical stabilizer, your improved ventilation, and your gun laying drive. The IS-3 has a obviously improved ventilation, gun rammer, vertical stabilizer, and gun laying drive. 1390, popular 3, always been popular 3, vents, optics, and your gun laying drive. Now, I actually find this quite interesting that we see this lineup so strong, and as soon as you drop that 1390, you actually end up drawing. Is that 1390 very crucial to this map? And also, it's the only map we've seen with a lot more caps than actual fighting wins. And I'm going to just prove this with a video that I have of great cap defense and great cap offense.
Is that Rummy? No, it is Conflict, perhaps.
And Overlord Prime predicts a 1390 coming to his north, and he lines up for a shot from that. But they see that Haywood is pushing down. The 3-line engagement soon to happen as they line up. NYPD lining up a shot on Haywood. First connections, and there's actually bounces. NYPD taking huge hits, going down to 940 hit points.
Haywood and the T69 staying far behind that cover. Now pushes up against Photo Finish. Shot being fired from far away, hits into the building. Photo Finish now is down. Drynitz is able to take down Hornsby. Angry White Guy pushing up against Overlord Prime. Overlord focusing fire from far away, trying to maintain his advantage of armor against the T69, but it's not going to be very helpful. Haywood taking some shots from across the way. He does fall. Angry White Guy in the T69 now turning his turret to the other section against the 5100. 5100 does fall. The 1390 falls. No, excuse me. The 5100 does fall to 1390. The IS takes down the T69, that IS-3 with that kill. Overlord Prime takes another hit, 335. Drynitz able to take down Rummy. Overlord Prime down to 91. Can Drynitz rescue him? One more shot coming in, Angry White Guy might have been a bounce. Angry White Guy trying to move in against Overlord. Conflict lining up the shot. Does he take it? He may be completely out.
Everyone is reloading for that side. It's just now Overlord Prime is the only consistent fire tank, and Drynitz is going to be able to clean up. Angry White Guy and Conflict need to run. There's a minute 15 on base cap, but there's 54 seconds left in the game. No way to cap this out.
Conflict still on the run from Angry White Guy. They're going to be going around the corner, ring around the Rosie. IS3 gets a huge hit against Angry White Guy, but Angry White Guy, oh no, a miss from Conflict. Angry White Guy, the T69, another shot. That's a bounce. Conflict waits, fires. He's able to get the IS3, but the 1390 takes down the IS3 takes down the T69. Nyander gets that final shot. Lieutenant Carter.
And now we're off to one of the more interesting donut-y maps, Cliff. Here's a picture of it. You have middle control of this map. You see that eastern road that goes over there. It's used sometimes, not as much. The western little area there down the 1-2, that's used for cap fast. We do see a few cap fast moves. They don't really work. They sometimes work. It's definitely very, very situational. You want to control the little donut here. At the 3 line, and you also want to control that 6 and 5 hill here. This is all about middle control, and we see this over and over. There are a total of 10 matches that were seen. The popular lineup played 7, won 6 of them, and only lost a single match. All of these were not by capping as well. The most popular lineup we saw was 1 Pershing, 1 Medium, 169, and a 1390. The most popular equipment were with the Pershing. You had your vents, your vertical stabilizer, and your coated optics. Some teams also did drop the vents for a gun rammer. The T69 had coated optics, vertical stab, and a gun laying drive. Every single tank ran optics, which is very interesting because it is a small map, but I would see the advantages when you're peeking out quickly. You want to have that view range advantage so that their camo value is not significantly larger than your view range. Some more extra notes about Cliff is the Pershing in 69 1390 combo only actually officially won 5. However, they swapped an STA with a Pershing, and they were being so similar, I figured I might as well count it. The STA basically is just a Japanese Pershing with a weaker turret. You can count me wrong on that, but it is my opinion. Now I'm going to show you a video of Fulcrum and Spurglords again on Cliff, and just to prove that middle control is so important on this.
Both teams. It's just a matter of how they play this one out. Definitely middle control, and we're going to have to look at that opening scout run out of these teams.
Marco, 30,001, is going to be pushing the front of Spurglords here, leading the front of Spurglords. And are they going to forego a mid-push? It looks like they could actually all be going down the west side. What is happening, Randall?
That could get a little dicey, but if they find... Who are they looking for? They're looking for Soviet, who's making the climb just frantically. If he can get up here quickly enough, he could be okay. There's only T1s there behind him, and they are now reloaded. Soviet takes 1 hit as he tries to escape. Fulcrum Gaming is trying to come on over. They will have the high ground in this engagement.
They will have the high ground, and they will also have 1 shot advantage because 1 shot from the 1390s did bounce off into the mountain. Friction, the first to fall here, not even a minute into the game, and these 1390s are now in a train-like formation for a second. That's not good, since that's going to nullify any escape if there's a push coming around the corner, but that's not going to be the case. Soviet's still at the top. Hugo Maximus is going to join him. Hugo takes down the T1 from far away in his T69, and that is going to be some eyes and ears down for Spurglords.
Looks like Jackie has found Chronic Pain. He's lining up a shot, trying to find it, and he does 0, going for the first hit. This T69 is not looking at him, but he's able to slip away. Jackie able to do that now. Looks like a push going towards the south, as Fulcrum Gaming is going to have to reevaluate the situation, try different high ground positions. There's 2 1390s out of position right now, but they still have this high ground advantage. I don't see how Spurglords can make this work.
Well, Hugo Maximus able to get some shots into system rename as he was focused on Soviet. Soviet missed his shot against him, and Chronic Pain in the T69 is going to be trying to help out system rename, but he is low. Antonio Handsome takes a shot on his end out of that 1390, and now the spread on the east is going to be one of the T1s back. RJ, Lestat, and Marco just around the bend, while Wallhacks was trying to move further up. He's going to back off in the Pershing. Chronic Pain and System Rename may be cut off from the rest of their teammates here.
But look at the positioning out of Soviet. He has moved to the southwest, and he's going to find shots on System Rename and Chronic Pain. He backs up for the first shot on System Rename, zeroes it, and first shot goes out. There is a kill. First tier 8 goes down.
He falls. Chronic Pain saying, I don't want anything to do with that. He's going to fall back, but now Soviet has beautiful shots on him. One more, and he is at 2 hits for 218, down to 694. Another one, 279 damage on that shot.
And he's down to 415. Last shot, did it connect? He went dark.
It connected, but it bounced.
Oh. And Soviet's going to be on reload now. Here's the chance for Spurglords maybe to pull out, maybe try and salvage this situation, because it does not look good right now. Oh, wow, Jackie Rudo and Hugo Maximus have left the high ground now, and they will be joined by Relics. And I believe up above we're going to have a tank overwatching this position. That'll be Antonio Handsome in the 1390. If we see Spurglords attempt to go back to the north, and they do, they're going to take hits. Wall hacks down to 700. Marco, 30,001, will go down, gets focused beautifully.
Concentrated fire from Fulcrum as they come around the bend. T69 and the Pershing focusing down. Chronic Pain, now wall hacks and Lestat up against the wall. Antonio Hansen, the 1390, takes a couple blows. T1 from the rear, almost taking him down to 40 HP. He falls to wall hacks at 6 HP, getting lit up from Soviet across the way. Lestat, last tier 8 left alive. Now it's only down to RJ, and he's going to get ran by a 13.
So now we move on to another city map, Ensk. This has half of the map a whole town, and another half a smaller little town, almost a logging and mining logging complex, I would say, plus the field around it. You have the 3 rail yards right in the middle. It's a very interesting map. I love this map when I see it because teams always bring something new to the table. There were 14 matches that were seen on Ensk. The most played lineup played 5 of them, won all 5 of them. The interesting thing is 2 AMX 5100s, 2 IS3s, and a 1390, or you can drop the 90 and pick up an Object 416. Some of the most popular equipment we've seen on Ensk has been for the 5100 a vertical stabilizer, vents, a gun laying drive. For the IS3 we have vents, a gun rammer, and a vertical stabilizer. For the 1390, the popular 3 drive, vents, and optics. And for the 416, the second time that I've actually mentioned this tank. We also see it on Prokhorovka sometimes. It has vents, a gun rammer, vertical stabilizer, or optics. I would go with stab, your vents, and your optics. You want that view range because it hangs out down here. It is your middle scout. It is low profile. It is fast. It is stealthy. It packs a punch. You want this thing to be able to relocate. You want this thing to be able to get over into your east or get over into your west very quickly. But you also want it to be able to see down the middle line just for those quick spots, those quick information, and sometimes it's even able to light up things that are relocating. It is very important to have that middle tank there. Now, some quickie notes about Ensk is there are some teams that in week 1 we've seen the RHM so many times. It has lost so many times. I believe River of Blood was the only team to actually win twice when bringing a Rumba. However, the second win was because of a cap. They lost the tier 8 fight, but they were able to hold back enough to actually cap it out, and the Rumba was killed by the 2 T1s that were brought in to harass it, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you on this map, exactly why you do not bring an RHM to Ensk.
Eyes along the E line. Strikers taking no holds barred approach.
And they're actually going to find the side of Godzilla mode. Godzilla, though, hits the first shot, and Striker down to 1141. Aggressive, but oh, they are going to trade it back, though. Godzilla down to 1139. His ammo rack is hit.
He proxy spots. Godzilla ammo racks hit?
Yeah, he got hit in the ammo rack. He's going to have to burn his kit if he wants to get reloaded quickly at all. That's a dicey situation.
Striker is in a good spot to stop this AMX 1390 from getting a little bit too close.
So what the positioning out of River of Blood, this is huge and crucial for this, because where's the waffle?
The waffle is over here. It's to the back. Doc Golem lines it up, takes a shot. Did that hit?
No,
it's a miss.
Young Money Cash is still at 11:45, but Striker is down to 7:15. Not trading all that well. Striker gets onto the high ground, and now they're going to jump on Godzilla mode. He's getting focused first. Dopper putting shot after shot into him. 549, 249, 294. 2 more hits with Striker.
Boom, baby! Doc Golem takes down the AMX 5100. Nice shot coming out of the Tank Destroyer, and the engagement continues as one of the tanks from the other side tries to put some shots on Doc Golem. He's going to push in again in that Rumba. Fires upon this 5100 in just a second. Will he destroy it? No! 47 HP. So close, but 2 AP3 gets the cleanup kill. Young Money and Angry Granny still left alive.
Real is engaging on the Roomba. Actually, he could really mess him up. Most of those shells should pen pretty easily. 2AP3, though, is left almost alone to deal with these IS-3s. A bounce from 2AP3 will be huge. Dopper, though, is on reloading. Doc Golem needs to find himself a real tank to engage on. Dopper's just trying to ram. This Roomba's getting messed up.
He is, but Dopper will have a shot on him soon, or at least a ram damage. And it is rammed him twice, but Dopper is way exposed by the IS-3 because of it. And now Kazo and the T1s are getting some shots.
He's on fire. He actually, auto fire extinguisher saves Doc Golem, but Dopper's down in exchange for Rill.
Dopper was chasing that T1. He left himself open too much here. T1's in the engagement, countering the Rumba.
Doc Golem has to kill Kazo. Like he can't afford to let him do that to him again.
But
Kazo's...
look at the T1s, Canaduck and Arg. This engagement is making Kazo and Young Money focus on these tanks while the T1s can move up and go for the fly cap. Doc Golem's just simply got to stay alive.
Cap has begun 1 minute 37 seconds. And then a second tank will get on. 46 seconds left. Someone has to go back to Cap to stop this. But Doc Golem can waste either of these tanks if he's able to pen his shot.
Doc Golem doesn't have to focus on this T1. He has enough.
Well, he can't afford to catch fire again. Ooh, Angry Granny takes a hit, though. Doc Golem, you need to fire. He's on fire again. 35-30. It's down to... He could burn all the way down, and now Young Money Cash will be able to take it down, but there's 25 seconds left on the cap. Oh, Young Money Cash actually misses his shell as Doc Golem is able to get around.
Doc Golem needs to move in and get the kill on one of these tanks right now. 17 seconds left. He has to move in and take the shot. He can't focus on that T1. He sees the IS-3. He can't back out and get the shot. 10 seconds left. These T1s
Kazo's going to be able to take him down. His
T1 gets the kill. We have another T1
But Angry Granny's on the way back. He sees Arg. 1 second, 0. He zeros. He fires, he gets a kill, but it's too late.
It's too late. Base is captured.
To the final map of week 1, Mines. This map is all about that early game hill control. You want to get up into this hill so you have 360 almost view range around it. You can cover your cap, you can cover the enemy cap, you can cover this village, you can cover down here. The only place you can't really effectively cover is this small little island at the one line. We saw the final matches between River of Blood and #RU. #RU did not go for the hill. They came around for this early game fast cap, and they got obliterated because all they had was that little area at J7 and J6 to cover them. Striker was sitting up there firing from the hill. You had Rylac, I believe, come back and sit right at this J6 area. They basically got caught up in a crossfire because of that. Right after that, you saw them go straight up into the hill, and they actually won the match after that. So we saw 13 matches total. There was 6 matches won by our favorite lineup. 2 matches were lost. One of the matches that was lost was that RU match I was talking about. The other one I cannot remember. So 8 out of 13 matches were played by this lineup. The lineup that I am talking about is 2 69s and 3 light tanks. The other light tank that you can use is that WZ-132, the consistent fire tank that is able to just bully 1390s all day. The reason why people bring the 132 is because it has a good turret, it's consistent fire, and it is roughly as fast as the 1390. You see a very, very good blocking capability from that 132. It's a little bit heavier. You can get up sideways onto the mines and stop 1390s from coming up, which allows your 269s, which will be loaded half in half the time of 1390s, to fire at the stuff that you have blocked. You can get a 3-tank advantage or even a 2-tank advantage before the 1390s even begin to reload. Some of the popular equipment you see for T69s would be vents, vertical stab, and gun laying drive. Very, very quick aim time, very, very quick reload, very, very good accuracy on the move. For the WZ132, you see the 85mm gun, which is a lot more common, but you also see the 105mm, which is uncommon, but I have seen it at least once or twice. You also see that with the WZ132, they run vents, your vertical stabilizer, and your gun rammer. I did not include the 1390s equipment because it has been the same throughout. You have your coated optics, your vents, and your gun laying drive. Some extra notes about Ensk is this lineup only lost against itself. #RU and River of Blood faced each other with this lineup. #RU lost the first one and then came to win the second one, which is why there are 2 matches that are lost. I will show you those 2 little matches that they had, and you can compare and see which strategy you believe to be better.
Strange tank to bring. It can't be bursted down by a T1 Cunningham, to my knowledge. So, interesting choice. Oh, wow. #RU's not going to the hill. They're going east. Subaru, Impreza, Godzilla Mode, and Maktat Putin are heading east in a 3-man hit squad. They may be joined by Rill, Angry Granny, and Young Money will be staying back, shooting towards the hill. I don't think they got any connections. This could be interesting. I've never seen this. And they're good. They're going straight for cap. Oh. Well, but they'll be interrupted because they've just found the medium one. I thought that was a different medium for a moment.
Yeah,
Godzilla Mode took it down, and they're going to go straight to cap. But Striker is already in position. He gets rear shots, but first is a miss. Second is a connection on a Godzilla Mode. Third will go into Maktat Putin, and it will actually miss. Striker not able to make the shots needed to take advantage of their position, but onto the hill. Here comes Young Money and Angry Granny to flank.
And 27, Striker takes a hit, he falls, took some damage to his tracks, but now he's going to have to, no, he's going to wait.
Lilac has shots on these 1390s. Second shot misses, but first one to Putin. Third shot into Godzilla Mode, takes him to 616, but he takes some shots in return. Now Doc Golem and Striker are on the return, but on the hill, Angry Granny and Young Money Cash are going to be able to take down Dopper maybe as he slips off the hill with 80 hit points.
Maktat Putin focuses on Lilac. Godzilla Mode pushes up. He's trying to get away from the fire. 1390 focusing on him. Godzilla Mode's almost down. Striker wasn't able to get that kill. It was Dopper. Subaru Impreza now down to 40. One more hit. Striker gets the kill against him, saving those shots for that last tank.
Doc Golem is on to Maktat Putin. Is he reloaded? He is not. Oh, just in time, but Putin slips around the corner. Now there's actually counter cap pressure. Blue base is under attack.
And Putin at 196. Looks like Striker's either waiting for that last shot or he may go for the reload. Still a number of blue team left alive.
Kazo's found Canada, and he takes him down, saving his team.
Kazo gets the kill. 2 APs get a head up for the north to the revenge. For the revenge against that T1. Kazo, there's nowhere to run or hide for him really against 2 AP3. Let's go ahead and check back down to the south. Striker, if he was reloading, he'll be done in a matter of seconds. But Angry Granny in the T69 is taking 0 damage in his position. He does have the high ground, and he is watching Striker like a hawk. Striker does have 1 tank locked down on the left of him over to the east side. It is Putin, but he's going to focus up on Angry Granny.
Young Money Cash is firing at 2 AP3 as he hunts for Kazo, but no connections yet. Kazo may go down, and that could mean we have counter cap pressure as it looks like 1390 Maktat Putin is going to get engaged on by Doc Golem.
Doc Golem dodges that shot from Putin, and they get the kill. Nice communication from Striker and Doc Golem. Striker saying, hey, nothing's on the hill. Go, 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 go for him. Good coverage, and he is able to close that gap. However, closing the next gap, getting up to the mine is going to be very difficult because the proxy spotting will go to the advantage of the members of #RU on the high ground.
But River of Blood has a tier 8 advantage. They've got 3 tier 8s, whereas their opponent has 2. They've got a 1390, which is hard to keep track of because two T-69s, yes, they're maneuverable, but this 1390 can whip around the map like nobody's business. And because there's two of them, Striker and two AP3, they could really put some crazy flanks on these T-69s. Need to not get tunnel vision. They need to stay spread, but at the same time, they need to be able to support each other. Spotting going at Golem and 2 AP3 spotted. 2 AP3 going for the proxy spotting, actually, right under the hill. Smart move by Riverblood. With this, they could actually move a tank up and get him out of that pinned position. And because of this proxy spotting, actually, Angry Granny's going to back off, going towards the north.
All three tanks now moving up, closing the gap. Good timing for them to do it. Striker, could he be going to the east? No, he's going to stay way hugged to the south, and Golem's going to push up in that T-69. They're going to round the corner at the same time. Golem should lead it since he has more HP than his two compadres here. Striker at 711 and 2 AP3 at
Granny
89.
is looking right in this perfect position, but
it's a bounce. Huge bounce. That is huge.
Yes. With that, it's actually going to be very difficult for both of these tanks to actually burst down the remaining tanks from Riverblood. Of course, Riverblood has to be careful not to waste any of their tanks. And actually, they now have Kazo in the water side going for maybe counter camp pressure as Young Money and Angry Granny are prepping for that first tank to crest. And 2 AP3 will be the first tank, making a nice alternate route. They come around together, focused on a Golem, bounces and fizzles all around, but no, Young Money goes down to 456, 214, and Angry Granny gets in the way, blocking the shots, but both of these T-69 should be out of shells shortly. Golem may go down, but it's too late. There it goes.
Striker gets the kill. Angry Granny getting the surround from Golem. One more shot, he will fall. Everyone may be reloading here. Striker's reloading. Golem reloaded first, waits for it. Angry Granny's not even going to fight. He's completely out of shells.
He's out of shells. He knows it's over.
And there it goes. Golem gets the kill. One tank left alive is Kazo. T1. He makes it easy for him at the bottom of the hill. This is going to be a different engagement here. They want this win. Hashtag RU feels they could win this on Mine, so why they chose it again. And 1390s are going to crash right into 2 AP. This is going to be a firefight of the ages here, folks. To 1390 taking a lot of hits.
First down is Godzilla mode.
Rylak gets that kill. And now the T-69's pushing in. They're going to be covered on that other side. Striker, 2 AP3, and Dopper are in some trouble. They linger too long on that side, allowing the T-69s to get some shots in them. The Rylak and Golem are now going to push up to the entrance of the hill.
Ooh, but Angry Granny is reloaded. He's going to put shots into the side of Golem. Golem getting focused down, but River of Blood is going to jump on MacTep Putin, putting as many shots as they can. There he goes, but in response, Golem goes down. Rylak is just chasing down Subaru Impreza, and now Young Money Cash and Angry Granny are jumping on Dopper. Dopper tries as best as he can to juke, but he is tracked and will go down. Now 2 AP3 is coming in with as many shells as he has left, but bounce in dirt.
Bounce in dirt's not good. A miss, though, from Angry Granny. And now this is going to be a reload, almost like a musket fire.
But Rylak should be reloaded. He's closing the distance, jumping on Angry Granny. He should be able to finish off one of the T-69s. Angry Granny at 657. A bounce will not be able to finish off one of those T-69s, and Rylak recognizes this and backs off, probably hitting reload at the same time. 1390 behind him. Should be reloaded shortly.
2 AP3 cruising across the other side of the hill, going to the north. Proxy scouting, but it's going to be 2 of the blue tanks. Going to focus on Rylak. Rylak's not looking at him.
But he's behind cover. He should be safe for a few seconds longer. Angry Granny will have to go very far up, but to the north. I see 2 AP3 in the light tank with flanking fire on Young Money Cash. And he will actually see this and back off. 2 AP3 having so much cover between them. Rylak also unable to make a connection onto Young Money Cash and Angry Granny. This is an incredibly tense situation. Also, at the same time, guys, Canada and Kazo are the only 2 T1s left alive. Elsewhere on the map, there have been traded back and forth.
And they could have a battle on that side soon, and that could determine who would win out the series if there is T1 pressure happening on the map. Another reload coming out from Rylak. He wants to be fully loaded here for this engagement. 2 AP3 in the 1390, way behind cover, staying alive as long as he can with 205 HP. To the bottom of that hill, however, if it's a really bad timing or if he loses his tracks or takes damage, that's not going to be a good position at all to be in.
Yeah, Canada's just kind of inching up, I guess, right now. Looking for that. Kazo is kind of in a little rock. He's very well protected. 5 minutes left in the battle, and these guys are just at a standoff. Kazo's protected. It's not a good position for Canada to attack. He could get greedy. In the meantime, we have still Young Money and Angry Granny looking 4 members of River of Blood. They are getting ever closer to the lip and coming up. Actually, Angry Granny breaks out of the low ground, is now on top of the mine. He could come around a corner, though, and find himself face-to-face with 2 tanks, 2AP3 and Rylak looking straight at him. And there goes Angry Granny, takes down 2AP3. That is huge. And Rylak is unable to make a connection on Angry Granny. He's at 422 hit points. Angry Granny knows he has an advantage. So does Young Money. Young Money is hesitant, though, and hangs back as Angry Granny will start the engagement. Rylak is not looking the right way. And
a miss.
A miss, but Angry Granny will take a hit. Rylak down to 168. One more hit. And he's actually able to take down Young Cash Money as he gets off the hill.
Wow, Rylak with a heads-up play gets that kill and scurries away. Canada,
but look, the T1s
is able to win that T1 engagement.
That's
He's going to
huge.
move to the south. He can put some pressure on that fly cap, exposing Angry Granny. And if a turret break does happen, this is going to be huge. Rylak needs to be very careful where he goes here because, well, no.
Angry Granny's trying to predict the
away
positioning
the
out of Rylak, but he calls it wrong. Rylak just thinking ahead, understanding where, I guess luckily that #RU is going to sit in the T69. They're going to cover, he's going to actually maybe cover the approach to the base of Angry Granny. Angry Granny is, actually Angry Granny might make the right approach with 1 minute and 27 seconds left.
Rylak, all he has to do is stay right here.
But the thing is, Rylak is going to be looking the wrong way on the approach of Angry Granny. Angry Granny is approaching from the north of Rylak's position. And he has to be careful not to destroy too much cover, else he reveals the fact that he is coming.
Rylak's set up in a good position now. He has his turret focusing on this right way. Nothing
Granny's
spotted yet. He is behind bush cover. Angry Granny is
He's
hit.
spotted. Rylak is spotted.
And it's
Angry
a miss.
And Rylak is able to slip away, but Angry Granny's closing the distance. And is Rylak going to be able to get this? Rylak misses his shot, and so does Angry Granny.
These are huge misses on the T69, but he's able to get the kill. 50 seconds left for Angry Granny in the T69. Canada, 167 left in the T69. Oh, we're going to have to check the stats on the amount of bounces and misses the T69's had. Yeah, crazy. Canada could have tried to hold out here, but he's not.
I think #RU has #RU should win from here. Canada has 32 seconds to juke as much as he can, but.
And this concludes week 1 of WGLNA Season 3 review. I hope this was as informative as it was for you, as it was for me. I learned a lot. And week 2 is under review as this is going up. I will be doing the full amount. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and we'll be covering the WGLNA Grand Finals as well. This will continue on to Season 4, and this is overall a project about progression, to see how far the teams have come, how far the lineups have come, and just to notice any other changes. As always, my name is Brentsk. I am a WGLNA Silver League bench player for Bomb Squad, and I hope to see you on the battlefield.